Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the recent events with Harry and Meghan. So for those of you who do not know, which I'm sure most of you do, he has done a recent video, and there has also been reports of just him coming to the UK to do with Invictus and also them going to Nigeria. So for those of you who do not know what bubble family means, because I do often say bubble family, and there is a video, if you go and watch it, which is my intro video, it explains it there. So if you don't understand what the bubble family means, if you're new here and you don't get it, go across and watch that and it will explain everything you need to know, rather than me waffling on about it here again. But it tells you everything there. So it is that time with the grab your drink of choice, and if you want to join this grab your drink of choice, where you can send me in a video or photographs etc of you or your fluffy furry friends grabbing their drink of choice, I am coming to the end. So I've not had any sent in for a little while, so I'm not sure if people are just feeling that they're not brave enough, or they don't quite know how to work the camera. But even if it's a pictures, and because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of Arthur and my two, because I haven't done them yet, and also some pictures that have been sent in as well, and do a little collage of pictures for the grab your drink of choice. But videos, I think I have 2 left to go from all of you. So if you want to join in this, please send your video to my email address here. It can be of anything you like, be as creative as you like, it really doesn't matter. If you have a YouTube channel that you would like me to promote, even if you've sent one in already and you want to do another one, it doesn't matter, send them in, because I love putting them up here and my subscribers also enjoy watching them. So you're not listening to me all the time saying grab your drink of choice. So yeah, so please do. So here is the next one, which is again really funny. So let me know what you all think in the comments. And so here we are.
Oh. Hello, my name is Tweety, and I'm an undercover FBI agent. Right now I'm drinking a classified drink, and it's called Code Red. Wait a second, this isn't Code Red. This is Pepsi. We've been compromised. Oh well, I guess I'll just continue on. Oh no, I'm gonna just take the bottle cap myself, and I'm gonna get myself a little something, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So I hope you enjoyed that one, and like I say, don't forget that if you want to join in this, please send your video, no matter what it is, to this email address here. So I've got my trusty notes, so don't forget anything. So of course we have had an appearance by Harry, who has done the Service Members of the Year Awards, and he did a video, and this was sponsored by Kenneth Fisher of Fisher House. So he started with a speech mentioning a partnership with Invictus Games, because of course, we have to, get that in there, when they introduced adaptive sports as a means of rehabilitation. He then goes on to introduce the video clip of Howie saying, please direct your attention to the screens for a special presentation. But he didn't officially present him. He didn't say, this is which I thought was quite funny. So then we have obviously Howie appearing with his medals, and of course Harry, being the petulant man baby that he is, has to attack his father in some passive aggressive way. And we have seen this time and time again, like when he decided to announce that he was now a resident of the United States, he backtracked it and dated it to when they were booted out of Frogmore. Everything that he does is just a slight to his father, which is why I have always said this is not 2 people that are acting as though they wanted to leave the royal family. And I've always said that I don't think Harry wanted to leave at all. I really don't. I think he enjoyed being part of the royal family and all the adulation. He just doesn't like the negative press, very much like Meghan. So they're quite suited, really. So, of course, he's not wearing his coronation medal. But I think what is frustrating to me is, firstly, why is he presenting an award in the United States anyway? Why is it that they can't seem to find a suitable, that you can't tell me there are not suitable people, soldiers or whoever that could have presented that award rather than the pretend soldier, the bunker Harry, giving that award. Now, whether or not he strong-armed his way in there, I do not know. And the irony being that he didn't end up presenting the award anyway. So something's obviously happened along the way where he didn't get to present the award, which I thought was quite humorous. But yeah, he's wearing the Jubilee medals, and he's wearing the medal that he got for being in Afghanistan for apparently all of 10 weeks. Now, bear in mind, those were weekends. They weren't even a full 10 weeks. That was where he would appear, turn up on a Friday or a Saturday, and then be off by the end of Sunday. I've also found out since that whenever there were apparently where they were supposed to take drug tests, he would disappear. So he was not there at all, but apparently he scraped through enough that it could be equated to 10 weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you have to be there a certain amount of time, and then that can qualify you for the medal. So it's like he got given this medal, and I think that's disgusting in itself. I mean, if you haven't seen my video on my conversation that I had with someone that actually worked with Harry and trained with him, so please go and watch that because it's a very, very interesting video. But he doesn't wear the medal. It's his father's coronation. This man is so immature, emotionally immature. It is crazy. And it's... And then all that comes up in the media is... because he creates this drama, it takes away from this woman who was being given this award, instead of it being about her, because this is exactly my point, is those two, even though they bang on about how they're all for the people and they care about the veterans and they care about women or whatever it is, they don't. Because whenever they do something, they bring drama to it. And so what that ends up being is that's played out in the media rather than it being about the very thing they're supposed to be helping. So here we have the fact that Harry is decided to do this speech, and instead of it being about the woman, the soldier who deservedly got this award, and it being about her, it becomes about Howie again, about how he slighted his father, snubs his father. You know, it's all about him and the pathetic drama that just constantly keeps unfolding in connection to the royal family. And I just think this is why these two, in my opinion, need to be stripped of their titles. Now, I understand that this is an ongoing thing, but to me, they need to be separated from the royal family because it does bring the royal family into disrepute. Disrepute? What's that? Disrepute. By association. Because most of us who have an intelligent brain understand that the royal family are not responsible, but there are some who just equate those two with being part of the royal family still. And so when they do something, it kind of tars them in the same brush. And I just don't really understand why it's still there. But anyway. So yeah, so I want to say, if he wanted positive PR, it absolutely failed. As everyone noticed was he snubbed his father by not wearing the coronation. And to me, this man or child literally couldn't get any more emotionally immature. So I'm going to talk about why I also feel the snub happened as well a bit later on. And I'm hoping that my brain recalls that. Instead of it just going, I carry on with the video and then it's, I forget it. So he goes on to say that he is presenting an award to Sergeant First Class Elizabeth Marks. And I'll put a picture up of this lovely lady here. But embarrassingly, he didn't actually get to present the award because it was General James Mingus, I think his name is, and I apologise if I say that wrong, who introduced Sergeant First Class Elizabeth Marks and then presented her with the award. So I wonder if something happened behind the scenes because obviously in his speech, he goes on about how he's presenting the award and then he doesn't present the award. So I'm wondering if the tide is changing. I don't know. But of course, you know, I think it should. I think it needs to. And so, yes, so here's the reason why I have a theory is why he snubbed his father. Angela Levin has just come out publicly, and I'm going to put the video up in a minute, where she's spoken on GB News. Now, I'm not a fan of GB News, but I have seen this particular video, and so I recorded it. But what's interesting is when I captured this, and I wanted to go back and sort of reflect on it and watch it again just to make sure that I got all of it. But when I tried to Google this particular video, if you go onto GB News, it says page cannot be found. They've scrubbed that video from what I can see from their website. I don't know why, but they have. So whether they got in trouble for that or not, I don't know. But so yes, Angela Levin stating publicly that Mike Tindall is taking over Invictus. So he's been put in a position in Invictus. And so she goes on to talk about that, and she goes on to just, you know, sort of talk about other things. So I'm going to put the video up here so you can see that for yourself. And then I'm going to come back and talk about it.
That for me was that Prince Harry was due to give an award to the best army person, and he chose this person, and he was wearing, first of all, they had to do it twice because Meghan was shouting in the background, which was rather funny, but he did that with 4 medals. 3 were from the Jubilees, 1 was for his going to Afghanistan. He was only there for 10 weeks, but that just about entitled him to get one, but the one for his father's coronation he didn't wear, and I thought that was such a nasty, spiteful thing to do. I mean, if you look at that, it's really shocking. However, he's probably very cross because Mike Tindall, who is married to Zara, the King's granddaughter, he's taking over as being president of Invictus Games, which sounds to me
like he's stepping back. Harry's stepping away from
I don't think he wants to, but there's obviously going to be.
Away.
Well, they haven't moved him away, but they've put Mike in the position. Yes, very interesting.
Because he's not, even though he kind of may have was the face of it, doesn't necessarily mean that he's the person that will carry it through, especially with what they're doing as well. Maybe it's because he's said that he's now wanted to become an American sort of thing.
No, I think it's because that a lot of the Invictus Games people have been wounded physically and psychologically, feel that it's now turned into a royal family sort of thing, which they don't want, that it's gone completely away from trying to encourage them to relive in the world. And there's Meghan coming and making lots of speeches and walking in front of some of the award winners, where she knows nothing about it at all. And I think 2,000 people have stepped down from going this year because they're very annoyed. And I think that shows you that Harry can't keep having his own way, that people don't want that, and they don't want it to be all about Meghan.
And Harry, yeah, it's all a bit silly.
Well, particularly Meghan, because she leads the way, she takes over, she does the speeches, he makes one short one at the end. So that's very, very difficult.
So as you can see, she does go on to talk about why this has happened. And what I did find interesting is that she said that the bit about Harry in the video, that Meghan was shouting in the background. Now, I have seen a video go up of Harry trying to do a speech and there is shouting in the background, but I suspect that's been created, because I can't see how, if there is a video of, if they were trying to take a picture, a sort of a video of Harry talking, which weirdly enough they're always doing something weird, like trying to create the illusion of them still at that property, and they're really not. There's no way there's going to be a public video going around of Meghan shouting in the background, but I did think it was quite funny listening to this video. It was on TikTok. But anyway, so then I heard that and I thought, you know, maybe, don't know. But I thought, I'm not going to put it up just in case it is just gossipy, and I'm not going to do that. So she goes on to talk about Mike Tindall. And I said before in a video quite a while ago when the video, he did the video in Canada, interview in Canada, that Mike Tindall would be a great fit for Invictus. And so it now looks as if he is being manoeuvred into place, and it is very possible that Harry is now being manoeuvred out. Purely and simply because, like Angela Levin has said, it has become too royal. Like, it's become too much about the Harry and Meghan drama. And Harry and Meghan are utilising it as a means to sort of use it for their publicity, like what she's wearing, or, you know, it's all about them. And it's come away from what it is meant to be about, which is the veterans. That's it. So it's become the Harry and Meghan show. So I truly believe that if this is the case, then this would be fantastic, because I think Mike Tindall is perfect for the role of taking this over. But it also explains to me why Harry has slighted his father again, because what I would think is that if this has been put into place, because it says, like, a lot of the articles have said that the CEO of Invictus has put this person in place, but Harry will blame his father. So this is what I've said before. You've got Meghan, who will ultimately blame everything bad that's ever happened to her will be blamed on the royal family. And then she will literally home in on the one person who she particularly hates, and that's Princess Catherine. And with Harry, it is going to be his father. Everything is going to come back to blaming his father. And so this is why I think he does what he does. I think he's very careful in not attacking William anymore. But I think mainly because he knows that William is going to one day be king, and so he's probably realised that he's really damaged the relationship with his brother, so he doesn't want to make that any worse. But people like Harry are cowards, so attacking his father, even though his father is ill, I mean, and that just really does show you his father is ill with cancer at the moment, and he does something like that to create more stress and more upset. If that does not show you, I mean, there's multiple things that show you the type of person that Harry is. If that doesn't show you how deeply awful he is, I was trying to think of the right word. I mean, there's just so many words, really, isn't there? But just what an awful person this that he is. I don't know what does, because most people, even if they were having issues with family members, they would either just not do anything, or they would just put that to one side, especially if someone's going through what his dad's going through. But no, Harry doesn't. What Harry does is like, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to kick you while you're down, and I'm just going to do this, knowing that could potentially cause more stress for him, because that, at the moment, going through what he's going through, keeping yourself away from all of the stress is very crucial. But when it comes to your children, they know how to hit those buttons, and he just does that, and he doesn't even give it a second thought. And so I wonder if it's because he has now found out that Mike Tindall has been put in to Invictus, and so he will know that there is every possibility that he is being manoeuvred out. So he will do whatever it takes now to cling on to that, because it really is the only thing he's got left. Aside from this ridiculous documentary that he's doing with Polo, which I think will be non-existent. I don't think anyone is really going to be interested in that, because it's a very one-trick pony type thing. It's like, unless you're interested in Polo or you like Prince Harry, you're not going to watch it. So all he has now is Invictus that he can utilise, and he will realise that that's slowly being taken away from him. So he's going to act out wherever possible, which is what I think he's doing. And then we have this person here who I'm going to mention, because again, this is something that we've not really seen the media pick up on, and I think it's very important. So another person who's very deserving, much more than Harry, is 21-year-old Kate Nesbitt. She's a Royal Navy veteran, receiving the Military Cross for bravery under fire by King Charles. And here's the picture here. So this young woman sprinted over 70 yards under Taliban fire to attend LC John List, who has been shot through the mouth and was choking to death. She stayed with him for 40 minutes, attending to his injury while being targeted by the Taliban. Now, that right there is a real hero. Not what Harry did with his Xbox games and pretending to have unalived 25 members of the Taliban. This is a woman who, for no thought of her own, raced across just to help another comrade because he needed her help. That to me right there is a hero, and absolutely deservedly so. And there is so many of men, women, and I'm going to say animals too, because animals are also used in the military and do the most bravest of things, and I don't feel get the recognition they deserve. They are soldiers as well, and I think that there are so many out there that are so far deserving, and in all honesty could be the head, be the face and the front of Invictus, even if it wasn't Mike Tyndall, are so much more deserving. Why, I understand why they initially used Harry, because he was part of finding it, and we're not going to put it all on him because he wasn't the one that that did everything. He didn't. He grabbed the idea of Warrior Games, thought it was a great idea to implement that in the UK, and it is, and I'm not going to take that away from him. But he then pitched it to his father and his brother, and I think maybe even Princess Catherine as well. And along with their team behind the scenes, because let's not forget the team behind the scenes, all the people that have done all the hard work and the research and everything else. It's not just the people on the front lines that should get the accolade. It's the people that work tirelessly behind the scenes putting it all together. They were the ones that did it all. Harry just sat back and reaped the rewards of it all. And I think in the beginning, he was good. He was good in the beginning. I'm not going to lie and say he wasn't. But since, again, meeting Meghan and whatever has happened to his ego, it's now not about the veterans. It's now about him and her, and it needs to stop. So then we have this, a weird press release, which, shocker, was timed around William and Catherine's anniversary. I mean, again, could you be any more passive aggressive and transparent? My guess it was to take the limelight away, but it failed, and I'm going to put the lovely picture that was released for their anniversary up here, and I thought it was really beautiful. And I think it just shows you again how the Prince and Princess of Wales, who are not even really much in the media at the moment due to the fact that Prince William is focusing on his family and obviously his wife, quite rightly so, but they're still they're still at the forefront of everyone. There's, people are still talking about them, and they're still so much more popular than these two. And I think it really does show you the damage has been done, in my opinion. There is nothing I don't feel that they can do now that will put them in the good graces of the public, wherever. So I feel, so this statement was released, and it wasn't from themselves. And the reason I feel was because HRH was used, and I put the screenshot up here. And so it's like plausible deniability. So when the Nigerian press released this and they put HRH in, it creates it to be as if connected to the royal family. This is a royal visit, and it's not. And this is why this needs to be made clear for any of those who are not clear. I mean, we are, but there are clearly some that are not, and they're still seeing Harry and Meghan as royals. Harry is a royal by birthright. Meghan married a royal prince. Yeah, that's it. But they stepped away from being working royals, and I wonder if that's why they're apparently they've been invited over. They're getting security. They're getting all the bells and whistles. So I've heard. Now I don't know what's true, what's not true, because again, there's lots of misinformation out there. So I tend to leave it a little while to kind of see how it settles and see what comes out in the mainstream media. But it just seems that, again, that this is happening. But of course, she's going on alone, apparently, because she doesn't want to come to the UK. So Harry's coming to the UK, and again, I think that he wants to reinforce this, that I am Invictus, not anything else. And she's not coming to the UK because, again, she's scared for her own safety. Now, so okay. You have the King and Queen in the UK. You have the future King and Queen with their children that live in the UK and are absolutely fine. And yet Meghan, who, I mean, we know that it's BS. We know it's BS because every time she comes to the UK, it is going to reinforce that she's not bringing the CUPPA children. And as I've always said, and I have to reiterate this because I think sometimes when people are new to my channel and I mention the children, I forget that not everyone has seen my previous videos. I don't believe the children are with them. I believe the child that we are knowing as Archie is real. But he is here in the UK, or he is somewhere that he lives with his birth mother. There is no Lily. There is a Mary Diana who has got different parents. There is no Lily Diana. There is no Lily Diana. So it's all a ruse. And if you haven't seen my other videos, please go and watch those because I do explain that a bit more. So, every time she comes to the UK, it is going to be more reinforced when people are saying, where are the children? Why are you coming to the UK and not bringing the children? But the fact is that the mainstream media do not ever critique where are the children. Why are these two always going away, leaving their children? Again, I know why, because they're not there. But the mainstream media, who are leading us to believe that there is a happy family living in Montecito with these two children, why are they always travelling but never taking their children with them? And when they do these little grainy shots of, oh, look, they're carrying a child, they always seem to be carrying the child, even though the children are getting older now. They don't seem to let them walk. Why? Because they need to control them, because they're not their children. So whatever children they're using for these photo opportunities, they're clearly not their children. So they don't want them running off and exposing the truth. How they're going to keep that up, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't have all the answers. But that's why I feel that she's not coming over here, because it's got nothing to do with, and also the fact that she knows that she's probably going to get booed and she's hated over here. So she doesn't want to come over here. So they're going over to Nigeria, and of course we have the fact that Meghan believes that she's what percentage is it now? Is it 43%? Was it 70 something percent? Nigerian, which is not even in itself what you would say, what Nigerians say, because like with many of us, there's different. They're different. It's a bit like, yes, I live in the UK, but I was born in East Sussex, whereas other people are London or Cornwall, or there are people that are all over the in the Midlands and Yorkshire, or whatever it is. And I feel that Nigerians are the same. So for her to say, oh yeah, 43% what? But then you have the fact, which I know is a lie, because then you have the fact that her father is 100% white. So she's at least got 50% white. Her mother is not 100% black. So, and I think there is even white DNA in there. So she's not, so you want to say, so you could say that, so she's probably say 3/4 black anyway, a percentage, which means then that Meghan would be half of that anyway. So if anything, Meghan is more white than she is black. So for all the people that say that we're all being racist, it's like, how? When she's more white than she is black? That makes absolutely zero sense. And not only that, this woman has been trying to eradicate her black side, if you like, by having nose jobs, straightening her hair, everything that in a way creates her to be this beautiful black woman, she's coming away from. She hates herself, which Lady C has picked up on, which is true. She does. She absolutely hates herself, which is why she always put herself down as Caucasian, because if she saw herself as a strong black woman, she would be putting herself as black. But she thought that being Caucasian was the way to get herself noticed. So she's just a chameleon and a liar, basically. So yeah, so they're worried about, she's worried about security in the UK, but not worried about security in Nigeria. But maybe it's probably because they're getting all the security afforded to them. But I have a theory. I feel that they're attempting to groom Commonwealth countries We've already had the way they've attempted to utilise Invictus in Canada, and they've met dignitaries and in a way creating it to look like a royal visit. We've had the same in Jamaica, albeit they didn't quite get the same red carpet treatment. And now Nigeria. It feels that they're manoeuvring into countries that are part of the Commonwealth. And we know that in the beginning, she really wanted to take over the Commonwealth. And I do feel, like I've said to you, that there's always an agenda. There's always a revenge tactic going on with a narcissist. And because she had that taken away from her, I wonder if that's what she's trying to do. She's going to slowly undermine the royal family, or attempt to undermine the royal family within the countries that they visit. And possibly, in a sense, in their mind, I'm not saying this is an easy thing to do or whether this will even happen, but undermine and create them to remove themselves from the Commonwealth, because that will be damaging to the king. And I think that this is why whoever is advising the royal family really need to be fired, because they have to employ someone that understands narcissistic behaviour. Because if they don't believe that Meghan is dangerous, they are very naive. Because all it takes is for someone like Meghan is to mix in the circles of the people that want to take down the royal family, or at the very least undermine them so people are not seeing them as credible. And she aligns herself with those people. If she hasn't already, then like I say, they're very naive, because I truly believe that's what's happening. I have a feeling that they are trying to groom Commonwealth countries. Now, I'm not saying they will succeed in anything. I don't know, because their credibility is pretty low. But it depends on what they say. And all it takes is, like I say, is one person who is part of the I want to come out of the Commonwealth, and they will align themselves with that person, and then they start to sow the seeds of doubt, and they can spread like wildfire, and we know that. So I think these two, actually, I don't particularly think Harry's dangerous, because I think Harry's not very bright, but I do think that she is. I wouldn't say that she's the most intelligent person on the planet, but she's... Well, there's a reason why narcissists get their foot in the door. They can come across very, very believable, very believable. And if she can come across as the victim, if she can come across as someone, and there are people out there that still believe her story, believe Harry's story. So it's very credible that even when you've got certain amounts of public that still believe them, not many, but certain amounts, there's also going to be certain amounts of high profile people that possibly believe her. And then you've got that being reinforced by Harry, who I think at the moment is now completely ostracised from his family because of his own doing. So it's almost like the better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And so I think that him and Meghan have almost come together in this alignment of let's take on the royal family. They're almost together in a business arrangement now. I don't believe they're in love together. I think that they've come to an understanding. You know, he gets to do what he wants, she gets to do what she wants, but they come together with these things. They use each other. He needs her, she needs him. So they're utilising that together. And I think that's what they're doing. I think they're slowly trying to undermine. People have said that they feel they're trying to take down the monarchy. Now, I think there are people that possibly could be trying to do that. But I think with Harry and Meghan, especially Harry, I don't think it's a takedown of the royal family, because if you take down the royal family, Harry and Meghan are just Harry and Meghan. That's it. They're not anything special. He loses his dukedoms. He's no longer a prince. And she's just become Meghan Markle, who's married to Harry. So, but I think if they try and undermine the royal family, which is what they've done from the word go, because they want to be more popular. They want to be more popular than the royal family. They want to be the royal family in America, if you like, even though America fought a war to get rid of the royal family. But even if it's not possible, in their eyes, in her eyes, she'll believe that it is, if she aligns herself with the right people. So don't think for a second there's not people that are behind the scenes here that's feeding whatever it is that's going on with these two. And Meghan probably feeling that she can manipulate those people, but I think that she's more likely to get in bed with very sinister people, not quite realizing that there are sharks in the water that are far worse than her. But her ego won't allow her to think that way. She'll think she can manipulate and maneuver anybody, and they'll allow her to do that for a certain period of time, and then it's going to be like, well, now we're taking over now. But Harry is going to be in bed with them as well. And he's going to feel that he can trust them because they'll be telling him all the right things, but he won't. They won't. And they will. And it's very dangerous. I think Harry does miss being in the UK. I mean, he seems to come across here enough. I think he does. I think he more wants his brother than he does his father. I think the fact that his brother, this is where Harry's anger is, but he's directing it in a way sideways at his dad. Harry's anger is now, I would say, because his brother wants nothing to do with him. And Harry will be panicking because he'll know that his brother is going to be future king one day. He's gone too far and he doesn't quite know how to get it back. And I don't think he ever will get it back. But he doesn't know that. And I think that he directs a lot of his anger at his dad because he's too scared to now direct it at his brother because he's done enough damage. But that is what I think. I think they are really trying to undermine the royal family. And I think that they're now trying to do it through the Commonwealth, and they're doing it sneakily using Invictus to do it. And that's just my opinion. I might be wrong. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you think that they are trying to get these countries on side, trying to undermine the royal family in the Commonwealth? What do you think of Harry's video? Do you agree with me in why he slighted his father and not wearing that medal? Do you think this could be because Mike Tyndall could be taking over Invictus and they're slowly bringing him in to do that? So give me your thoughts on Meghan, how, going to Nigeria. Is there something that I haven't seen? Because I do work full time, so I don't always get all the information. So I might have missed something. So if there's something I've missed that I haven't talked about, then drop that in the comments below, because I'm always interested to hear your thoughts on that as well. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, because it does help the algorithm, and please drop a comment in the comment box and subscribe if you haven't done already so you don't miss future uploads. And if you would like to treat me to a cuppa because you enjoy what I do here, you get something from these videos, and also you want to help support me give free therapy to people outside of this who struggle financially. At the moment, I have 6 clients, and I totted up, actually, if it's interesting to you, how many clients I have worked for since I started doing this. And I have now in total done 27 clients. So 27 people have benefited from having free therapy with me, not taking away from the emails that I help people, where people email me and I write back to them. And also when I've done the hour phone calls as well for people that just want to chat with me about something specifically, and I give them some help with an hour phone call. So that shows you that this channel is working, that you sharing my videos, that you supporting what I do here is helping other people. So you are part of that. You're paying it forward. And so thank you. I'm so grateful to all of you, because without your support and your help, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you. And, from the bottom of my heart, it means so much to me. So in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, whatever you are doing. I'm going to be visiting my parents because I haven't seen them in a couple of weeks. And so all of you, take care as always, and just know that I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.